What if you had the power to change your own reality? I mean, really change it, heal from a chronic illness, or create the life you've always dreamed of, just by changing what's going on inside you. It might sound a little out there, but today we're diving into the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, which shows exactly how ordinary people are doing extraordinary things. We're going to look at the incredible journey of one woman whose story is proof of what's possible, and explore the actual science that makes it all happen.
So let's start with the story of a woman named Anna. Her life is a powerful and honestly a pretty tough example of how the emotions from our past can literally become our biology and actually make us sick.
Just look at this timeline. It's absolutely staggering. In 2007, her husband tragically took his own life. Just 9 months after that, she woke up one morning paralyzed from the waist down. And if that wasn't enough, by 2011 she gets diagnosed with esophageal cancer. It was just one devastating blow after another, trapping her in this constant cycle of trauma and stress.
Now these questions, they weren't just passing thoughts for her. They became the very blueprint of her reality. Her mind was just stuck on this loop of grief, betrayal, and deep fear. And by constantly thinking these thoughts, she was producing the same stress chemicals day in and out. Her body literally got addicted to that emotional state, and it was breaking down because of it.
But after years of suffering and hitting what you can only describe as absolute rock bottom, Anna reached a turning point. And this, right here, is where her story completely shifts from one of just trying to survive to one of creation.
I mean, just try to imagine this moment. After her very first chemo session, Anna just collapsed on the floor, weeping. She had reached her absolute limit, physically, mentally, and emotionally. She even said she understood why her husband had done what he did. She was at the end of her rope.
And right there, in that moment of complete and total surrender, something shifted. This wasn't some half-hearted wish. It was a powerful, conscious decision to change everything.
And her decision? It was pretty radical. She decided to stop all her medical treatments. She asked a greater intelligence for help, and she promised that if she was just shown a way out, she would change everything about herself and live every single day in gratitude. That decision carried a level of energy that was actually greater than her past, and our bodies started to respond to her mind.
So, you're probably wondering, what was actually happening on a biological level? How can a simple choice begin to heal the body from cancer and paralysis? Well, the answer is in the science of transformation.
The answer is in this fascinating field called epigenetics. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your DNA is a massive library full of books. You can't change the books themselves, right? But epigenetics is all about choosing which books to read. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, they're like the librarians that select which genetic instructions get activated. They can literally turn on the genes for health and turn off the genes for disease.
This chart really breaks down the two states we can live in. Over on the left, you've got survival mode. This is where most people spend their time, running on stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Our energy is all over the place, and our brain and heart are literally out of sync or incoherent. But then, look at the right side. This is creation mode. This is where we embrace elevated emotions like gratitude and love. Our brain and our heart become coherent. They start working together in this beautiful, synchronized rhythm, signaling totally new genes for health and repair.
Now, this is the really mind-blowing part. It's the power of mental rehearsal. When you repeatedly imagine a future reality, and you combine that clear intention with the elevated emotion of what it would feel like, your body's biology doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know if the event is real or just imagined. You are literally installing the neurological hardware to look like your future has already happened.
Okay, so the results of this work are they're astounding. And Anna's story isn't some one-off miracle. She's part of a huge, growing community of people who are proving what's possible. So after months of practicing this, during one meditation, Anna had this incredible, transcendental experience. She became pure awareness, no longer identifying with her body, her past, or illness. When she came back to her senses, her health conditions were gone. She had fundamentally changed her state of being, and her body just followed her lead.
Let's look at another example. This is Ginny. She was living in constant, severe pain from 2 herniated discs and was literally 1 week away from major back surgery. So during a meditation workshop, just like Anna, she just surrendered. She described being overcome with this intense sense of peace and unconditional love, feeling totally disconnected from her body and all her pain. When the meditation ended, she stood up and walked for the first time in 2 years without any pain at all. She canceled the surgery, and get this, has been pain-free ever since. Or how about Jennifer? She was suffering from a long list of really debilitating conditions. The specialist basically told her, sorry, you're just going to have to learn to live with it. She was so weak she could barely brush her own teeth.
By the end of just one workshop, her transformation was so complete that for the first time in years, she ate a normal meal without any bad reaction. And I love this quote from her because what's more human and joyful than this? It shows her healing wasn't just about getting rid of a disease, it was about getting her life back.
Now, this process isn't just for healing from the past, it's actually a formula for creating any new future you can possibly imagine. Take the author's own son, Jace. He'd been traveling the world for 7 months, was running out of money, and really needed a job. But instead of the traditional route, sending out tons of resumes, he decided to tap into what Dr. Dispenza calls the quantum field. He decided he was going to create his job from pure potential.
And his method was this simple, 4-step process. First, he got crystal clear on his intention, all the specifics of his ideal job. Then, and this is the most important part, he practiced feeling the elevated emotions of already having that job, feeling empowered, free, totally grateful. And finally, he just surrendered the outcome. He trusted that the how would take care of itself.
So what happened? You're gonna love this. He walks into a surf shop, strikes up a conversation with the world's top surfboard fin designer, and was offered a job that matched every single one of his criteria, right on the spot. He didn't send out a single resume. The experience found him because he had become an energetic match for it.
So the crucial point, the secret sauce, is this powerful formula right here. A clear, focused intention on exactly what you want, combined with an elevated, heartfelt emotion as if it's already yours. That's what changes your energy. That's how you move from being a victim of your circumstances to becoming the creator of your life.
And ultimately, this work poses a powerful question to every single one of us. It's not about waiting for a future to happen to you. It's about deciding what future you want to experience and then becoming the person who is already living it. So what future is waiting for you to create it?